everyone, and welcome to my official YouTube page. I'm going to be taking you guys through my alternate day lower body workout. This is going to be my lower body B workout. Typically I utilize alternate workouts for my upper body, lower body, and arm day. With this workout I am emphasizing more hamstring, glute, as opposed to a dominant quadriceps workout. I'll be saving more of the quadriceps work for my lower body A workouts. So today I went ahead and started with sumo deadlift to target these areas and to bring them up. With any compound exercise, whether it's an upper body or lower body exercise, you always want to start with a warm-up sequence. The key here is to start with low weight and high reps and work your way up to heavier weights and lower reps before you're ready to start your working sets. The warm-up sequence is important and holds a few purposes. First, to get some blood moving throughout your body parts. Second, to get your technique established before moving on to heavier weights. And third, to establish a mind-muscle connection and prime the central nervous system. Okay, so notice how before I begin each set, I'll go ahead and situate myself and my feet placement. I'll do this by grabbing onto the power rack in front of me. Before you ever deadlift, you have to be properly placed and stay safe to be your strongest. As you can see, once I get myself positioned, I get my butt down and try to keep my lower back flat. I'll almost try to go ahead and sit down on the exercise. What this does is it helps contract the muscle groups I intend on working, namely the hamstrings, glutes, and inner thighs. This is important because without getting too low, contraction is not as good within those target muscle groups, and it defeats the purpose almost entirely. Before each repetition, you will see that I restart, so to speak, and reposition my body for maximal efficiency to perform this specific exercise. The reason for doing this is that any form of the deadlift requires proper position and alignment. As you become a more advanced lifter and the weights get heavier, you will begin to notice that any discrepancy in your technique will either make your reps harder and/or injure you. So as with any compound movement, your technique must be established first and foremost. Okay, so like I said earlier, with the warm-up sequence, the weight goes up and the reps come down. The purpose for doing that is to conserve the maximum amount of energy to put towards the working sets, while at the same time taking sufficient preparation. You never want to jump up in weight too fast. There's no reason for it, and you'll end up feeling weaker when you work up to a heavy weight, and it can also be dangerous. So here we are at 305 pounds on the sumo deadlift. The reps are coming down and I'm getting my body and most importantly my mind ready for the heavier weights to come. This is the final warm-up set with 350 pounds before initiating the working sets with 400. I'm giddy and anxious like a kid in a candy shop to begin my working sets, so let's go. Okay guys, here we are. Working set number 1, 400 pounds for 10 reps. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up commentary on this exercise. I went ahead and did 3 sets of 10 reps with 400 pounds. I could have went ahead and done 4, 5, or even more sets of 10 reps at 400 pounds, but it was my first week working up to 400 from 395, so I didn't feel rushed to do any more. If anything, you don't always want to bite off more than you can chew. The idea is progressive overload. And like Lee Haney said, stimulate, don't annihilate. Okay, so I'm going to be breaking down the stiff leg deadlift. The first step to this exercise is to get a good grip on the bar. What I like to do is use my wrist wraps and wrap myself tightly around the bar. I don't want to depend on my grip giving out when doing this exercise. After that's done, I'll go ahead and take a short step back with the bar in hand. You're going to want to keep your feet a little bit closer than shoulder width apart. When you're ready, you're going to lower the bar with total control and be sure to keep the bar as close to your body as possible throughout the entire movement. This is important because we're trying to stimulate the back of the thighs, the hamstrings. Be sure to keep your lower back flat at all times and try not to bend at the knees. Remember, this is a stiff leg deadlift. So if you're bending your knees too much, you're not doing this exercise correctly. Just lower the weight. Especially with this exercise, it's important you don't go too heavy. You want to stress technique and complete control above all. Otherwise, you'll be using too much lower back and you will get hardly any stimulation to the targeted area, thus defeating the purpose of the exercise. Imagine doing this exercise for months and years with too much weight and having barely any result to show for it. You don't want that. So then, at the bottom of the movement, you want to get a good stretch and explode through the concentric portion of the movement. It helps to perform your reps in an explosive fashion, so give it a try. Okay, so what you see me here doing is I'm tracking the number of sets I'm doing for a particular exercise. I'll typically only do these for my first and second exercises of my given workout. I'll use a 5-pound plate to keep track so I don't forget. This becomes helpful when you're doing 5 or more sets for an exercise. Okay, so here I am on the leg press. I like using the leg press for my calf workouts because I'm able to load up a ton of weight and do calf raises with a full range of motion. Not only do I feel it is a superior exercise, but it also saves the lower back, unlike standing calf raises, and it's also harder to cheat by using your quads. And now here I am doing the first accessory exercise for the hamstrings. This is the seated leg curl. This particular hoist machine is very well made and it has a good feel to it. Make sure you adjust the padding and seat positions to fit your own body. Everybody will be different. Okay, so here we are coming to the end of the lower body workout. I usually throw in 5 sets of 12 to 15 with the hip adduction machine. These are common in most commercial gyms and I feel they should be included in anyone's routine more often. The hip adductors play a pivotal role on stabilization for your squats, sumo deadlifts, and deadlifts, so make sure you include them. Okay guys, this is the last exercise in my lower body workout. 5 sets of 10 reps with 120 pounds. The key to doing this exercise right and actually benefiting from it is to get a full stretch and contraction. Do not load up the weight. Instead, focus more on control reps and full stretch and contraction. Okay, so that's going to wrap up my lower body workout. I hope you guys learned something from this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will be coming out with more videos about training, nutrition, and other topics.